have a problem. I love ideas. I love the beginning of things. That first rush of excitement when something new clicks. Oh, this could work. This could really work. I am an absolute sucker for that feeling. And it has cost me more than once. Because here's what nobody tells you about building income after 50. Ideas are not the hard part. The hard part is the middle. The part after the excitement fades and before the results show up. The part where you're doing the work and you can't see anything happening yet. That middle part, that's where income gets built or abandoned. And if you're someone who loves starting things, I see you. Because I am you. The middle is exactly where you're most at risk. So today I'm going to talk about what's actually going wrong when you have too many ideas and not enough income. Including the thing I have to actively stop myself from doing on a regular basis, even now. So just a quick note before we go any further. The income results I share are my own and are not typical. Building income streams takes time, consistency, and effort. This is educational content, not financial advice. Some links I mention are affiliate links, and I may earn a small commission at no cost to you. And I do appreciate you clicking those links when you want to purchase something that I recommend, because it does help the channel live on. So if you don't know me, I'm Valerie. I'm 62. I live in a camper in South Carolina, and I'm building what I call no client income after 50. Documenting what works, what doesn't, and everything in between. So I make about $1,000 a month on Amazon right now. That didn't happen because I had the best ideas. It happened because I picked one thing. I stayed with it through the middle, the hard middle, and let the results prove it was worth continuing. That's the whole lesson. And it took me longer to learn than I'd like to admit. So subscribe if you want to follow along while I build this in real time. And stick around, because I'm going to tell you the one question I ask myself now before I add anything new to my plate. It's the thing that finally slowed me down enough to actually get somewhere. Let me tell you what actually happens when you chase too many ideas at once. You sign up for things. You get excited. I know that excitement. You do the first steps. You create the account. You watch the tutorial. Maybe you make one post or one video or one whatever. And then the next shiny thing appears and your attention shifts. I feel you. And so the first thing sits there, half started, not growing, not earning, just existing. And then you have 5 half-started things and 0 traction on any of them. I'm guilty of this. And you wonder why nothing is working. I am guilty of this. I'm not talking about something I figured out and left behind. I am actively managing this tendency myself right now. There are platforms I've signed up for that I haven't fully used yet. There are ideas sitting in my notes that are genuinely good and genuinely not the right thing to focus on today. The problem isn't the ideas. Ideas are great. I love ideas. The problem is that implementation takes time and energy. And time and energy are finite. Every new thing you start is borrowing from the thing that's already working. And here's what I've learned about building income specifically. half implemented doesn't earn. A half-built income stream produces half results at best and nothing at worst. The platforms don't reward people who show up once and disappear. They reward people who show up consistently over time. You can't do that for 5 things at once. You don't have the bandwidth. You can't sustain that. Not at our age, when we have real lives and real responsibilities and real limits on our energy. Here's the framework I use now, and it's not complicated because I don't have the time for complicated nonsense, to be honest. So pick one thing. One thing. Get it to where it holds its own, where it's bringing in some money, where it's paying a bill, running on a system that doesn't require you to whiten knuckle it every single day. Proof of concept. Real results, even small ones. Then, and only then, add the next thing. That's it. That's the whole strategy. It sounds obvious when I say it out loud, but when you're someone who loves ideas, actually doing it is a different matter, because there will always be something new and exciting to look at. There will always be a platform someone says is taking off. There will always be a strategy that sounds like it might work faster than the thing that you're currently grinding through. Your job is to stay anyway. With Amazon Influencer, the thing that kept me going through the middle was proof of concept. I wasn't making much at first, but I was making something. Real commissions, real deposits, real proof that the platform pays. That was enough to keep me going. Not because the middle felt good, it didn't always, but because the money told me the thing was real. And that's what you're looking for. Not a jackpot, just proof that it works. Once you have that, the middle gets easier because you're not just hoping anymore. You know. So, let me be real with you about where I actually am right now, because I think it's more useful than pretending I've got everything figured out, because I don't. Amazon is working. That's my one solid thing. About $1,000 a month, a system that runs, proof of concept that I can point to. Beyond that, I'm building Facebook monetization. I'm in it. I've made a little bit. I have proof they'll pay, but it's not easy money, and anyone who tells you otherwise hasn't actually done it. I'm working on Pinterest offsite links for Amazon and others. A new Facebook page I'm building with actual personality instead of just a feed of recommendations or links. Substack is on my horizon. That's probably my next real project. But here's what I'm not doing. I'm not trying to do all of those things at full speed simultaneously, because I know what happens when I do. I've lived it enough times to know. Right now, Facebook is the next thing I'm developing seriously. The others are on the list, but they're not the focus, at least not yet. And keeping that boundary, not letting the excitement of the next idea pull me off the thing I'm currently building, is genuinely an active effort. It doesn't come naturally to me. I have to choose it repeatedly. Here's something I want to add, though, because I don't want you to walk away from this video thinking diversification is always the enemy. It's not. There are two kinds of diversification. The bad kind is what I've been talking about. Chasing new platforms and new ideas before your first thing is solid. That spreads you thin and it earns you nothing. But there's a smart kind of diversification too. And it doesn't require new ideas at all. It's repurposing. Taking what you're already making and letting it work in more than one place. The same content, more reach, more potential. No extra ideas required. Just more runway for the work you've already done. And that's smart. Here's what that looks like in my world right now. So my Amazon shoppable videos, the ones that I make for the influencer program, I repurpose those into my YouTube review channel, which is Valerie Finds It. Same video, different platform, different audience finding it. I'm also expanding into international Amazon storefronts using a tool that I've found called Cha-Ching. Same videos I've already made, now working in other countries. I didn't have to create anything new. I just extended what already existed into new markets. That's the whole idea. The content that I make for this channel, Valerie Creates It, I repurpose onto Facebook. 5 posts per video, each pulling a different angle, spreading the reach without creating anything new from scratch. And I'm looking at how to take my Amazon content to Facebook and Instagram too. Not as a new project to start tomorrow, but as a natural next step when the time is right. That's the key distinction. Repurposing is not starting something new. It's extending something that already exists. It doesn't compete with your focus. It simply multiplies it. So when I talk about picking one thing and staying with it, I don't mean stay small forever. I mean build the thing first. Then figure out how many places it can go. Because a piece of content that works in one place can often work in 3. And that's diversification that actually makes sense. I want to say one more thing before I wrap this up. Some of you are sitting there with a list of things you've tried that didn't work. I know because I have that list too. Platforms you started and stopped, ideas you pursued and abandoned, courses you bought and didn't finish. I want you to hear this clearly. That's experience, not failure. Every platform you tried taught you something. It taught you something about how you work, what you're willing to do consistently, what kind of content feels natural to you, and what doesn't. That's not wasted time. That's the price of figuring it out, and everybody pays it. The mistake isn't trying things that don't work out. The mistake is never landing on one thing long enough to let it actually work. There's a difference between exploring and avoiding the middle. One is smart. The other is expensive. So if you're in that place right now, a lot of ideas, not much traction, wondering if you're cut out for this, the answer probably isn't that you need better ideas. The answer is probably that you need to pick one of the ideas you already have and stay with it through the part that feels like nothing is happening. Because that's exactly the part that comes right before something does happen. So that's what's actually going wrong when you have too many ideas and not enough income. Not a lack of creativity, not a lack of potential, a lack of sustained focus on one thing long enough to let it build. So pick one thing. Get it to proof of concept. Let the results tell you it's worth continuing. Then add the next thing, or expand and repurpose. Is the best idea. I'm still learning to do this. I'm still having to choose it on purpose. But I'm also making $1,000 a month on Amazon because I stayed with it when it felt like nothing was happening. The middle is miserable. And it's also where everything gets built. So subscribe if you want to watch me keep building and keep being honest about what that actually looks like. And tell me in the comments, what's the one thing you keep getting distracted away from? The thing you know is working or could work if you just stay with it. I promise I won't judge. I'm asking for entirely selfish reasons because I need the accountability too. Stay close. You're not done yet, and neither am I.